You're about to listen to the Timey-Wimey Tea Time Podcast, a geekyantics.net and allgames.com production. Find out what everyone's talking about. The Doctor, of course. Doctor Who? Exactly, that Doctor. Join us live at www.twitch.tv/geekyantics. That's GEEKYANTICS. Hang out with us, ask questions, laugh, and have at it. We can't wait to hear what's on your minds and hearts.
Tiny, whiny tea time.
Greetings and welcome to Timey-Wimey Tea Time, where friends gather to talk about all things Doctor Who, sci-fi, fantasy, zombies, creativity, and geekdom as a whole. But before we get into that, introductions. And this is a very special episode. I'm going to say that right off the top. I'm excited, so I may be at a loss for words, and that's coming from me. That's quite a statement. But I'm Yomar Lopez, known throughout the interwebs and sometimes the Whoverse as Yogizilla. Friends IRL call me Yogi. And as our old friend Sam Farina, our previous co-host, who hopefully will come back to us sometime soon. This is not the Hollywood voice. You guys know him as Oolong. He's MIA right now too. Everybody's going off on these pilgrimages, these adventures. I don't know. I guess it's summer. That's what happens. People are spending too much time at the pool. But Sam Farina used to always say, I'm a gamer, I'm a dreamer. I'm an author of silliness, a disgruntled techie, a wild-eyed entrepreneur, and a fistful of happy emojicons and sunshine. But by the way, yesterday it was actually National Emoji Day, I believe. I should have probably tweeted about that. It's kind of a big deal. Use your emojis, be safe, be responsible when you use your emojis, guys. But I ran into battle upon a glittering My Little Pony, and out of my mouth come laughing swords of peppermint and ginger. Those are both things I really like. I like all of those things. But above all, I'm just a regular guy that enjoys many different fandoms. I enjoy the creative process. I enjoy geeky musings, and that's what this show is about. And I hope that we can become friends as we embark upon a journey through time and space, the human condition, and merriment/bantering. There'll be lots of bantering. Well, maybe not too much. I know some folks don't like that in the podcast. The podosphere. Is that a thing? We'll make it a thing. But I am joined today by someone that's been on a previous episode. If you have been listening to us for a while, you may recognize them, or him, actually. This is one person. One half of AM Audio Media, Andrew Chalmers.
ACC.
Always be, no, you can't say always be closing.
Yeah, always closing.
Always choose closing.
Always crew cut.
Always choose clothing. You don't want to walk around naked.
No, you don't. And trust me, no one else wants me walking around naked either. Good afternoon to all you wonderful people. I love you all very much.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of a pre-show, and if you guys want to catch that, that'll be on our YouTube. It probably won't make the podcast feed. We'll see. I might throw it in there as an Easter egg at the end, maybe. Ooh, that'd be fun.
Well, if it's an Easter egg, it's slightly cracked, if you'll forgive the obvious pun.
This episode is very special because we're gonna have lots of puns, more so than usual.
A lot of puns. Prepare yourselves for the puns.
And Chalmers is a very bad chaperone. He encourages me too much. He is incorrigible himself.
I do. I'm incorrigible and uncorrigible, whatever those two are. Encourageable and uncorrigible. Yes.
Is uncorrigible a thing?
Uncorrigible? Yeah. It sounds like a word, and as we just said,
it sounds like a thing.
It is a word.
We'll say it's a thing. I mean, you know, these days to introduce something to the English language, you just need someone of a high enough profile to say it, and then a few other silly people to pick it up. Then it goes viral, and then Urban Dictionary adopts it, and then Oxford says, "Okay, it's a colloquial, it's vernacular, it's a colloquialism. Let's add it to the dictionary. Why not?"
Well, that's all. I mean, anything that's ever authorized in the world is basically introduced by one person, agreed upon by a group, and then accepted by the masses, and that's all anything is, right?
I like what you did there. Did you just purposely just quote the 3 Stages of Truth by Arthur Schopenhauer? Schopenhauer?
No, that's just my own opinion.
No, really?
Yeah.
Are you trolling? Are you trolling me, Chompers? Are you being
I'm not
clever?
trolling you. No,
No, 'cause
trust me, I cannot be clever, but no, I'm not trolling you. But
Okay. So you like this then? If that's something you really believe, 'Cause I've always said the same thing, but then I found out there's I believe a 13th century German philosopher called Arthur. I believe it's Arthur Schopenhauer, who said that all truth goes to 3 stages. First, it is ridiculed, then it is violently opposed, and then it's accepted as mere evidence, like something simply obvious.
oh, you're right. Yeah, I did steal it from him. Yeah, now that you've said that, yeah.
Did you? I mean, it's a great quote. I probably butchered it, but I think it's so true. That's how things happen, and so that's why, folks, if you're in the creative space, if people ridicule your idea and they say it's not going to work, pursue it further.
Yes.
If it makes sense to everybody you share it with, then it's too obvious, and the opportunity probably already slipped by. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's some great quotes that you often see around and about, but I think it's Thoreau.
That's another good one.
Yeah, who's come up with so many memorable quotes that I cannot think of them at this moment. But
who do you think is more quotable or more quoted, Thoreau? Oh gosh, let's not go there. You talk about Junior, right? W. Oh gosh.
Yeah, fool me once, then fool me again. Shame on you, or whatever he said. It was very funny.
God. Yeah. I'm embarrassed. During that time I was embarrassed to be American. I love my country, but good lord, that was bad.
we had Margaret Thatcher, so don't take that shame for yourself.
Okay, so we're about even then, I guess.
Mind you, and they're all the bloody same anyway, so they're all tarred with the same brush, aren't they? So who cares, really?
It's the lesser of the evil. That's the way I look at it. But no, Thoreau. So Thoreau or Churchill?
Thoreau. Right.
Which one's more quotable or more quoted? It's a bit of a difference. Semantics.
I would well for the impact on humanity, I would probably say Thoreau. If the war had been lost by the Allies, Churchill would probably stand he would stand trial for war crimes. So, well, anyone. Well, it's true. I mean, the winners are the heroes and the losers are the evil people who did all these things. But warfare is a lot more complicated than that. And if anyone doubts that, then they should do some research into the carpet bombing of Dresden in World War II. And then we'll see if the heroes of the past still remain with us in the future.
Everybody loses in wars, and we make fun of politicians, but diplomacy has a very important part. Yeah, you should always try to diffuse situations. Violence is a last resort, and it usually it's usually not a permanent fix either.
No, exactly. I think it's. I don't think Mike and I ran a campaign when we were at university together. And it was we'd had enough of all the bullying that was going on, and it was called "Kick Violence in the Face." And,
I like that.
Yeah, we took out a dummy and encouraged people to punch it, to kick it, to stab it, as a show that violence would not be tolerated. So we do stand behind our campaign of "Kick Violence in the Face" with a very big boot, and we won't see any more horrors on mankind. Yes.
They used to be these beat up dolls. They got pretty big during the 80s, and then I don't know, they kind of disappeared. Maybe a bit in the 90s too. But I thought it was a great idea. Like, all that angst you have, take it out on the doll, and after a while you're beating it up, you feel silly. You realize, it's not really doing much for me. I need another outlet. I think it was cool. But all right, another pop quiz question for you. You ready?
Right, go on. Yeah, go on. I'm listening.
All right, so Thoreau or C.S. Lewis?
Thoreau.
Is that a personal choice or just overall you think a big
And what,
impact
are
to
we still
humanity?
talking about quotes? Because I don't think C.S. Lewis is very, very quotable. I mean,
Oh, how about in terms of influential for you or just in general?
probably Lewis. I would
Okay,
think.
okay.
I would probably say. Lewis. Yeah, definitely. C.S. Lewis. Sorry, my apologies.
I think C.S. Lewis is quotable. I don't think he's quoted as much, especially because people see religion as a taboo thing in this day and age.
Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yes. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But a hell of a wardrobe, though.
Yeah,
Hell of a wardrobe. I'd like to go in that wardrobe.
it had a certain bit of style. An era I wish I really got to enjoy firsthand. Probably be like the '50s. I know he predates that, but just if I had to choose one, early 1900s, I would say the '50s. I like that style. Big hair, classy women.
Yeah. Well dressed guys walking about with hats and suits on.
Yeah, like I'm not a big suit guy anymore. Cause
Right.
I had a little stint in Wall Street and
Did you?
yeah, I worked in the financial district a lot and had a lot of
Ooh,
Fortune
okay.
500 and Inc. 500 clients. So I had to dress up and stuff.
Really?
And I got tired of being a monkey in a suit and tie. It's not for everybody.
No, it's no. Well, I mean, it's a uniform, right? Pete Townsend has a very good song called "Uniforms," and it's about that.
It is a uniform. I mean, it's convenient because if you have a man should have a good 2 suits at least, right?
Yeah,
So you're ready for anything, and then all you have to do is just swap out the shirt, and if you want a tie, you could get away with not having a tie. It depends what you're doing.
yeah. You can these days. It's funny because I did a lot of jobs when I was a kid, and sometimes when I was in retail, you despise the uniform. I mean, I came over to Canada when I was 8, so we had to wear a uniform in Scotland to go to school. But when I came over here, there was no uniform, which was kind of weird. And then when I went back, there was uniform, and the same thing happened with work. But the thing is, though, uniforms and all the rest of it, once again, it's the extension of the human condition. You're never happy when you're in a uniform. You think, why do I have to wear this stupid uniform at work? But then when you start wearing your own clothes, you're like, geez, I'm washing stuff every day. This is crazy. You know what I mean? So
It's true.
You
Because
never-
if you're wearing the same uniform a whole week, no one will be privy to that because.
well, the smell would give you away, but
Well, hopefully you're not producing that kind of smell,
no, I mean, no, I know what you mean. But Mike and I did the whole thing, and we worked with a lot of crazy cats. That one guy had his pants actually stapled up. His pants were too long, and one day I saw him walking by, and I thought, why is the sun reflecting off the bottom of his pants? And they were reflecting off the staples that were holding up his pants. So his way of thinking was, my trousers are too long, I'll just staple them.
Well, it's a solution. It's better than stepping in your pants the whole time, I guess.
Well, I suppose so, but I mean, when you're doing that, it's a bit weird. And then we had guys that you could tell that they wore the exact same shirt every day, and by Friday you could tell what they had for lunch because there was visible clues on their chest.
Oh boy, yeah, that's not good. If you're a messy eater, then yeah, you can't get away
No,
with
it
it.
wasn't good. So how you treat your uniform is kind of an indication of you as a person, I think. Even though people say wear a uniform, people who so keep it clean and iron their stuff and shine their shoes. It's an indication of you as a person. Ridiculous things used to go on. There was a guy in the copy center who used to wear sandals. And it was just unbelievable. This guy didn't
with
care.
with sandals with dress slacks.
A little bit like that. One of these Bohemian University reporter kind of guys, and you never knew what the hell he was doing. He always used to come. We used to have like a morning rally, and he would appear like next to me, like just like 10 minutes after the rally had started. Like he was completely a wild man. It was just unbelievable. Yeah, just.
I don't take it that far. That's a little crazy.
It was crazy. I mean, God forbid you ever talk to this guy, Yogi.
I'm scared. Is he one of those folks that doesn't respect personal space? Is he like a face talker?
No, certainly not. No.
Okay,
no.
that's good. So that would break the deal completely.
Yeah, he used to put his sandals in my face, but
Ooh, no, that's not good.
Not good. Not good. No.
No,
No.
I don't like.
No.
I
There
don't
you
like
go.
that.
Yeah.
So I want to apologize real quick if I have any background noise for those who've been following my streams and shows. You know, it's been hot and I have so much equipment in the man cave / studio, and I use studio very loosely. But you know, I had to have the fan going along with the central air, and I turned it off for now, but I might turn it back on every now and then. You might have to, you might actually hear a little beep because it has a remote control. It's kind of fancy like that. It's one of those ionizers. It cleans the air too. Yeah, it's
Nice.
It does a job.
Is it the bladeless one? They're expensive.
It is bladeless.
That must have cost you a fortune.
I got it when I was in a better financial situation.
Wall Street.
Wall Street. I'm not making out Wall Street money now, but I'm doing what I love. So
I'm putting things together here. Any guy with a bladeless fan, that's some heavy stuff and nice suits and stuff. But now you're taking the path of least resistance, my friend.
exactly. Better to do what you love, you know, and have the time to enjoy the fruit of your labor than, you know, work long hours and, you know, yeah, you have more money, but you can't really enjoy it, you know.
Yes, I know what you mean. Yeah, better to have loved and lost than never to have eaten a ham sandwich in a whirlwind. That's what I always say.
But I'm more of a turkey guy, I have to say.
I think that was Thoreau, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
Was it?
Yeah, or Dane Cook. I don't know.
Yeah, about the same. I put them on the
okay.
same level.
About the same, yeah, about the same.
The great philosophers of our time, obviously.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the great philosophers. Yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
So are you a fan? Are you a fan of fans? We were talking about this in a pre-show.
A fan of yes, I am a fan of fans. Yeah, I love fans because being from Scotland, I'm not really into the heat at all.
Right, I'm with you there.
Like a pale blue color. When I go to hot countries, it takes me a week for my skin to turn white because I'm usually like blue because I'm so cold.
Yeah.
But I do like fans. Yeah, when Mike and I did sort of auditions for things, when we did the pilot for the CBC and stuff that we worked on, and we auditioned people. I was constantly in a state of high anxiety because of the heat. Mike's always rather cool that way. Yeah, I'm a fan of fans. I'm a fan of fans. I love fans. And I remember hilariously, we had an apartment once, and it was like an oven. And
I know those. Those are not fun.
not fun at all. And my my dad came over from Scotland, and we do you have Home Depot in the States?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
So we'd been to Home Depot, and we bought 5 fans because he was coming over, and the place was like an oven. And I'm one of these guys that kind of gets a little bit overboard and carried away. I got this massive fan that Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah.
Okay, classic, right? Now,
yeah, Indiana Jones. Who doesn't like that?
Indiana Jones. There you go. Now
that had Christopher Lee in it, right? And then
Christopher Lee, yeah.
Vincent Price.
That's right, and a lot of hobbits running around. Do you remember in Raiders when Indy's fighting the big German guy under the plane?
Yes, yep.
And he motions to the back of him, and the guy gets sliced up. The fan that I got was like the propeller on that plane. It cost like $150, and I put it on the ground. And when my dad came over, I put it on, and no one could hear anyone talking in the living room because it was like, and I was like, "How was your flight, Dad?" And he's like, "What you saying? I can't hear you. What's up with you? It's too hot in here." And it just went on for, like at the end of the night, I was putting little spaceships on it, like toy spaceships, and they were flying into the air, and my dad went to bed. He was very annoyed with me.
Oh, you should have gotten some wingsuits. Those are very popular right now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh man.
A 12-inch action figure flying around on the fan, but it was quite a thing. So I'm a fan of fans as a method to keep me cool, and I'm a fan of fans and fandom in general, which will be our next project. as well as a thank you to all the Dark Journey fans that have made this a rather wonderful venture.
Good segues there, and you mentioned action figures, so you made me curious earlier.
Yeah.
You have a bit of a collection. What are two of your favorite action figures or franchises where your action figures come from?
Well,
ones that we would not expect, because I know Doctor Who is up there.
Well, I like, you know what, any figure that looks like the character. I'm always a fan of how they recreate things. Like, you know, I have some cheesy kind of ones from sort of back in the day that kind of look like Jean-Luc Picard, but then with a low-level light bulb, it could look like Dr. Evil. One of those things. But
Like the Bionic Woman one, right? That one was pretty cheesy.
Yeah, completely. Like, that was, like, I thought it was a Jennifer Aniston figure, like, 10 years later, right?
It came with a little miniature hand purse and hair blower, I think, too.
Yeah, it did. I have the Steve Austin, actually.
Do you?
I have the Steve Austin, yeah. I think your microphone's cutting out. There was a weird noise there.
I don't know, that's what I think of whenever you say Steve Austin.
Oh, you do that, yeah. And you look through his eye at the back, and he lifts it, and you can see, like, sort of whatever that vision he had, and then he can lift an engine with his arm, and you roll up the skin, and you get the little circuits in his arm.
Those are going for a pretty penny on eBay and whatnot.
They've actually re-released a lot of them as well. I've got a Evil Knievel kind of toy that was a re-release of the original one that was kind of back in the day, and on the commercial back home in sunny Scotland, on the commercial it was fantastic because I'd watch it, right, probably about 1975, and it had a Scottish commercial for this Evil Knievel thing. And it had a kid with the bike, and I don't know whether you've ever seen this thing, but you wind it up at the side. There's like a circle with a handle, and it's like a friction thing, and Evil Knievel flies off. And on the commercial, he was doing the loops, and he was going backwards, and he was...
Yep.
And all this, and there was like a voiceover, "You what Evil Knievel can do," and it was quite funny, right? And all because the words Evil Knievel sounds fantastic with a Evil Knievel. It sounds brilliant with a Scots accent. And then when I got it and did the wind up thing, he went about 6 inches and fell over like a drunk driver. So,
oh man, the toys have come a long way, but kids just don't appreciate what they have. Because now they have the same kind of thing, wind up toys, but now they actually travel up walls and stick to ceilings.
Yes. We they had a Spider-Man. I don't know whether he was about 12 inches long, and he had one arm up all the time. And
I think I remember this.
Yeah, and he had like a fishing line, and you put him somewhere, and he kind of went up the wall. He kind of clanked off the wall. He looked like one of the village people doing the YMCA. And he went up the wall. He clanked up the wall, and he got to the top. And what I did was, great friend of mine, his name's Paul Ray. He lives in New Zealand now. Paul and I used to create a lot of trouble, and I'm talking explosive trouble when we were kids. And we threw him out the window of an apartment building
oh gosh,
where we lived, right? We threw him out the window, and it was nighttime, and the area we threw him in was quite well lit in a way that you couldn't see anything apart from the Spider-Man figure, and we dangled him around in front of people's windows, right? Now, someone saw this, and they got a little bit nervous about it, and they called the superintendent, and the super came around the corner. Now, we're dangling Spider-Man with fishing wire from 2 stories up in a building. We see a flashlight beam illuminate Spidey, but that's the only light that's on him. This guy's come around the corner. Imagine this. This guy's come around the corner because of complaints. He sees, there's, someone knocking on the window, go see what it is. He comes around with the flashlight and sees a little Spider-Man with his arm in the air jigging around because Paul and I are pulling the wires. He didn't go anywhere near it, man. I think he was scared. I don't, to this day, I don't know what he saw. But
oh man, really?
Yeah, absolutely. No, honestly, no, all these stories are just episodes from my youth. But I was thinking about Spider-Man there when I was mentioning that to you. It was hilarious. Paul and I were just laughing so much. This guy never came near. And I'm sure he's in a pub now talking about that day 20 years ago when he thought he saw Spider-Man in the shadows.
Did you ever get into the parachute, man, the soldiers? The little plastic parachutes, and you throw them off cliffs and buildings.
No, not really. No, I was more into stuff like collecting Star Wars figures and
Oh yeah,
and
that's a
all
given.
that. But that's where Paul came in because he was a bit of a mad scientist and he used to make stuff. He used to make his own fireworks.
Oh boy,
kind of makes sense of the explosive fun that I described earlier on.
So you have some singed action figures from your youth, huh?
Things like that. I remember this is not going to go down well with a certain Rob Irwin at Who Was, but I I had a lot of Star Wars action figures, and I think kids come to a stage where they've kind of had it, and a lot of these things are met with murderous destruction. And one of the things that we used to do was when we lived in an apartment in Canada, all the kids, I had like Louis and Franco, and we used to meet and we used to hang around in the hallway. And of course, you know as well as I do that things happen, right? So I got Star Wars figures and I put a metal band around the neck of the Star Wars figure, and it was a bit of a dare for one of the kids to put the metal into an outlet socket.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So you can imagine we did this. Now the effect was that basically, linking to Raiders of the Lost Ark, these figures, their heads melted like the guys at the end of Raiders. So there was a bit of a crossover there.
Oh my god.
But
I love it. Well, hey folks, I know we're kind of talking about all sorts of things, but today
we are. Yeah.
I want to develop the expectation that we are going to premiere Doctor Who Dark Journey Series 2 Episode 6 Lost Souls.
Yes.
But before we do that, we have a little bit of housekeeping. I'm not even going to bother doing the usual segments that we have, so I'm going to kind of go through some things. First thing that we want to kind of share, there won't be a word of the day, so we're skipping that. We do want to thank our sponsors, and if you want to check our sponsors, go to geekyantics.net/sponsors. We have, things there where you can save money, make money, and support our network at the same time. And so it's a win-win-win scenario. I like to think. One of the sponsors we're particularly excited about is Shiny Prints. If you go to shinyprints.com, they have a new beta app. It's a fun photo maker. It's a collage maker. So if you're not very good with graphic design, but you have some, kind of fan art you want to do, or maybe you want to make your own poster, you could go to shinyprints.com/collage and make your own collage right there. So give that a test and let us know what you think. It's pretty fun. And also, if you go to shinyprints.com, the main site, you can get those designs printed on metal, and they look amazing. In fact, I'm about to order a couple more soon and do one of those unboxing videos that the kids seem to love.
Oh, they love those, yeah.
Yeah, they go viral. It's crazy. People love that.
Now they can print things on metal. I know this sounds like I'm coming in on some kind of setup promotional thing, but I'm not, because I'm kind of print crazy. What can they print on metal? It sounds like a commercial. I'm sorry.
No, and folks, this is not staged at all.
No, this is not.
I'm blindsiding Chalmers right now.
What can they print? When I said what? Tell me, what can they print on metal?
It sounded anything you want, anything.
And where can you? Oh my God! Where do I see about these things? Oh Jesus!
So if you go to shinyprints.com, right? What they do is they use their aluminum panels, and they're manufactured by Chromolux. And the neat thing about it is it's environmentally friendly. They don't use any chemicals that are toxic. Everything's recyclable. The panels are treated, and they do something called subjugation. I don't know all the specifics of how that works, but they basically make it so that not only is it laser printing on that aluminum, but then it's creating color and then it has a layer of protection. These prints will probably live beyond you and your next of kin. That's how resistant and durable they are, and they look amazing. Like they're almost 100% like perfect reproductions, which you don't even get on paper or canvas, if you ask me. So you could take, let's say you have a lithograph and you want to convert it to metal print, you could do that. Or if you're a photographer, maybe you're a professional photographer that wants to upsell your customers, you actually, even though it's a luxury thing, it's surprisingly affordable. And what's even crazier about it is you save people money, because let me tell you, I got a lot of posters from people that do Doctor Who fan art, or they do like weird things where they do cross universe type things, like Star Wars meets Doctor Who.
Great stuff, actually. A lot of great stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So because you and Mike have gone on a convention circuit, and there's a lot of great artists there. So I get a bunch of these things, and I can't frame them because I'm kind of cheap. And I have a family to feed, so I can't justify spending $30 to $50 per piece to frame. I mean, and these larger pieces, I was looking at a frame for a large piece, like let's say a 60 by 40. They want like $300 or something insane like that.
I know. I do know what you mean. Yeah, if you can get frames, if you can get the mats cut. They will cut mats for you in some places, and then you can buy the frame, get the mat, and put them in. That I've done a lot with the hundreds of art that we've got from Dark Journey. Yeah, it's fantastic. But that sounds awesome, because I'm looking to do something with a lot of the artwork that we've gotten from our people.
We should talk off air then, and see if I can cut you a deal if you guys want to bulk order some and use them as promo pieces or giveaway prizes. We could do that.
I'd be this whole printing on a different surface. When you said that, I was like, wow, I was listening, but then I really kind of perked up, because that's exactly as I'm rambling on here. I'm looking at 8 things on my wall. So I'm always into some good framing action,
Yeah, and if you have kids, things always get spilled or ripped in moves, or
exactly.
Weird things happen. So it's great. And another great thing about it is, and now I sound like I'm really late and I think, but you don't need a frame, and it has a built-in mount. So done. It's ready to hang.
Gee, that sounds great. That sounds great. And I can't. I can't believe it. It feels so much like those lines I was saying. They sounded so contrived, but I couldn't believe it. Tell me where you get these.
Tell me more.
Tell me more about.
I'm gonna give you the link on the Skype.
Okay, and I got you the quotes from Thoreau as well. So.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So the main link I would recommend, so we get credit for sending the business over. Go to bit.ly/shiny prints. That's bit.ly/shiny prints. That's Prince with the S.
Okay.
And let them know if you order. Let them know that the folks at Geeky Antics and AM Audio Media sent you. There you go.
You got it.
Throw them in there. Name drop. That's how you network.
I'm dropping the names like you would not believe.
I love it.
You got it.
So, folks, once again, we are usually live on allgames.com and twitch.tv/Geeky Antics every Saturday at noon Eastern, 5 p.m. in London, 4 p.m. in Madrid. I'm trying to cover as many times as possible.
Madrid, wow.
Yeah, that's my native homeland. That's where some of my roots go back. Did you know that?
I've been to Spain. I honeymooned in Spain, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Southern so you were more in the north. Cool.
Yeah, Lorette. I went on holiday to Lorette de Mar.
I'm jealous.
This was back in the day, but yeah, fantastic place. Yeah.
I was supposed to go to Ibiza.
Oh.
And this is when I was younger and more of a party animal. Sure. I had it was all expenses paid through my company because I won a contest, internal company contest. And this is not a joke, but the World Trade Center thing happened, and then that went up in smoke.
Really?
Yeah. So I took that as a sign. I think whatever you believe in, but I said to myself, I think God doesn't want me to travel the world anymore. He just wants me to settle down.
Yeah.
And,
maybe. I mean, we take. Maybe something would have happened. You don't know. You hear a lot about this. Whatever your own belief is, whatever makes you happy is the main thing.
Yeah, and I don't push my beliefs onto anyone. But I say keep an open mind.
Yeah,
because the universe is a magical place, and I as much as I love science and math, there's some things that logic can't explain, no matter how hard you try.
Yes, I would be inclined to agree with you, big time.
So Yeah, I was gonna go off on a tangent again. I stopped myself though.
Okay.
But so if you missed the live show, you can always tune into us YouTube on YouTube. Or I'm usually pretty good about getting the episodes up the same day. Especially tonight, I'm gonna try to get that up and then do a little blog blurb about it. You can go to youtube.com/geekyantics or search Twitter for hashtag TWTT. And I will say, if you're listening to any other shows on allgames.com or geekyantics.net, just keep in mind, any of the shows on the other networks, the other shows may not be, dare I say, your cup of tea. And viewer discretion is advised, all that good stuff. And finally, folks, leave us comments. We love reading them on air, so that don't be shy. I know it always takes a couple people for everyone else to jump on board. But why don't you lead the way and be the first to comment on some of these videos? And last but not least, we have a voicemail line. You can leave us voicemail at 206-415-4987. And if you're outside of the U.S., it's 011-206-415-4987. Or, if phones are not your thing, you can send us a short MP3, about a minute tops, ideally, TWTT@geekyantics.net. Do you have a quick call to action you want to share, Chalmers?
No, I think we're okay. No, I think we covered everything.
Okay.
Everything. I mean,
I'm gonna plug. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me Facebook. That's good. Give me Facebook.
Yeah.
Give it.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I'm not sure what it is actually. Yeah. It's.
I think it's just facebook.com/AM Audio Media.
That's the one. Yeah. And we have a Twitter account.
Twitter's the same thing.
Doctor Who Dark Journey. AMAudiomedia.com. Etc. And I presume there'll be links to these places on your website, Yoma?
Oh yeah, I try to hit the maximum character count even on the podcast descriptions.
Okay.
You'll know I'm producing the podcast when it has a read more tag in the description.
Yeah.
It paginates.
Well, yes, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's not my it's your forte, but it's certainly not mine. I don't even know the names of half of these things I'm supposed to say.
It's all right. I kind of put you on the spot. But real quick, some who knew, a little who knew, our Whovian and geeky news. There's some quick items here because I want to keep things going so we could really talk about Dark Journey a bit and get the premiere going. Okay. But 50 Cent filed for bankruptcy, and again, I'm scratching my head. How do people with so much money, obscene amounts of money, file for bankruptcy or go broke? That's even crazier. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about it, but the act of bankruptcy is not always what it seems, and if you
it's protecting your assets.
Sorry?
It's about kind of preemptively protecting your assets, right?
Well, yeah, protecting your assets. Yes. Yeah, it's one of those legal things. I think where I think it's the financial equivalent of going into rehab. Everyone's going into rehab. All these celebrities are going into rehab and stuff like that. Does it really mean anything? It sounds dramatic, but does it really mean anything? Probably not, because you'll be out again doing all the usual stuff within a couple of months, right? And that appears to as well. I also think that a lot of celebrities probably, I don't blame them, but they do live in kind of a fantasy land, and if they get bad advice from a business perspective, you've got a recipe for disaster,
Yeah, and I think no matter how much money you make, always get into a savings pattern. Always have reliable investments, and don't live beyond your means. Think about what happens if I stop making this money. If my main revenue stream stops, how long can I live on what I currently have, and have a plan like that. More money doesn't necessarily mean you're safe. Financial stability is about your spending habits, and I try to teach that to my kids, and they think I'm just, I think they hear the peanuts wah 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 wah. But
yeah.
I try anyway. But bankruptcy is interesting because it's basically you're restructuring your debt, protecting your personal assets. So if your business ventures fall over or whatever, you have less liability and you can get out of a lot of debts. But then at the same time, you can't get credit for in the States it's like 7 years or something. or 10 years now, I think. So it's kind of a big thing, and also depends if you do chapter 11 or chapter 13. Yeah, I'm kind of familiar with it because I've dealt with clients that had to go through that stuff, and I've had my own issues with looking at options to kind of go back into black because of bad business ventures and whatnot. So I know exactly what it is, but when you have people that have more than enough money to put away and they're just kind of living too lavishly, it's just I just facepalm. It drives me nuts. It's like, you really shouldn't have that problem when you're at that level.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, as I don't really. You can see how it happens if they live in a fantasy land where they don't really have to work or do anything of that nature, right? It's just like, yeah, well, this is it. Everything they do is great. That's why if you're in that position, you need really kind of solid advice, Otherwise, you get things like, Jar Jar Binks appearing in movies you've made and stuff like that.
Let's not open up that can of worms.
Yeah, but that you need someone there objectively saying, is that a good idea, or you've got the nucleus of a good idea there, but you need to when you're surrounded by yes people, because you never hear much about them, but I'm sure there are yes women as opposed to yes men. Then you have a problem, and that's kind of what it's all about. If I'm going to put in my 2 cents, which is all I have because I've also filed for bankruptcy this week, I have no sense actually. I read all these stories. I think the media has a huge responsibility for all sorts of things in the world. But I read these stories, and I think just from a humane point of view, do you really need to be buying your kid a Maserati and flying about in a helicopter? And once again, it goes back to that idea of the things that go on every day around us are ridiculous. But I don't want to sound pious or anything. I don't have the answers, but it's just on a karmic level, I don't think it's the way to behave,
Yeah, and sometimes I come off the same way too, I'm sure to some people, but there's people that they really don't know how to differentiate necessity and commodity or luxury, a want versus a need. They feel like they need to get their kids cell phones, but an 8-year-old really doesn't need a cell phone. What did we do before there was cell phones? Well,
exactly.
Call a friend, call a principal. There's ways to work around that. They don't need to have a smartphone. It's crazy. $300-$500 phones, and then the kid misplaces or gets stolen. It's crazy. But anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there was a young man who lost his life here a few weeks ago over a phone.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Why would you, introduce that potential? See, the parent in me is gonna come out, and I'm gonna go off on a complete, diatribe. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I remember my dad had one of the first ever cell phones that was like a brick. Remember those ones?
Oh gosh, they were huge. It was like wearing a shoe in your head.
Yeah, and he used to he had one from work, and he appeared with this thing, and then he got one, and he was always telling me, my dad was always telling me about you don't need a fancy car, and you don't need a mobile phone, and blah 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 and all this. So he ends up getting one in his car, right? So he's there telling me like not to touch it, and don't you touch that phone, and don't you make any calls to your friends on that phone. And then he's got the phone. The first phone call that I get from my dad after all these rules and regulations, the phone at home goes, we're expecting him to come back with the car, with the phone. It's a big deal. It's like he's coming back with a spaceship. And the first thing, I pick up the phone and I go, hello. And my dad, enforcer of cell phone rules and car phone rules galore, goes, Batman.
Oh, it's great.
I'll see you in 5 minutes. The phone gets hung up. So I always remember that about.
And that call cost him like $10 right there.
Yeah, the call. Yeah, he had to file for bankruptcy, linking up all the themes the following week.
Oh gosh, see that we have a theme going tonight.
Yeah.
This afternoon rather.
That's what we do on AM Audio Media. We do it with Yogi as well. We do story arcs.
I like it. We have quite a few running right now. We might have to start wrap up some of them eventually.
Yeah.
But hey, folks, if you're looking for a great summer show, I'd like to recommend The Whispers. Milo V, you may know him from Heroes, but he's also been in other things. He was also on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and a bunch of other stuff. You'll recognize his face for sure, but Heroes is what put him on the map, I would say. He's a really hardworking actor, great guy. He's great on the show. Then Lisa Rabe is also on there. You might know her from American Horror Story. She's the good nun that turned evil. The show is just super intriguing. It's got the sci-fi thing going on, but it's also got a little bit of horror. It's got creepy kids. You gotta check it out. It's psychological. Each episode makes you question more things, and I'm enjoying it. For a summer show, summer shows are usually like just filler. Like, let's just make it to the fall season, and we'll bring out our big shows, our top build items. But this is a great show. I'm enjoying The Whispers. Check it out. It's on ABC. You can watch it on the ABC app or your local cable provider and all that good stuff. And then, I'm gonna wrap up the news there. I did want to say that on episode 30 we got the breaking news about Satoru Iwata, president and CEO of Nintendo, passing away. And I don't want to come off like we're pandering to it and trying to get some more listens and views, but it is the end of an era. He was one of the pioneers of video games. He worked over 30 years with Nintendo. He fresh out of university, he went straight to Nintendo, and he was a big deal over there. But we're gonna be doing a lot more Nintendo Day celebrations with retro gaming and old school video game talk and Nintendo talk and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to call in for that, share your favorite Nintendo moments or retro gaming experience, anything of the sort, you just call us 206-415-4987 or email TWTT@geekyantics.net. But anyway, we're ready. We're gonna get right into it. We're going to get right into it because we got about a half hour left. Usually at this point we do our Who's Who segment. We talk about why we love Doctor Who. But you know what? Let's talk about Doctor Who Dark Journey Series 2, the event you guys all came here for. An hour and a half later, we're going to do this. Guys, gals, robots and ninjas, zombies and vampires.
Romans, yes.
Yes, exactly. We have the great honor, of bringing you, the Geeky Antics and All Games listeners, an exclusive first listen to the Raw Preposition, with the award-winning audio drama Doctor Who Dark Journey. This is the internet's #1 downloaded fan audio. Dark Journey is a new by the fans, for the fans series from AM Audio Media. Now, Doctor Who on television is months away, so I know a lot of us are getting antsy. We're getting that itch. So think of Doctor Who Dark Journey as fandom's a temporary kind of treat. There's new episodes every Saturday on some of the best podcasts out there. And I know off the top of my head, Gallifrey Stands is involved. I think Geek Radio 1, and Geekster. Now, I gotta tell these, we gotta pass the word along, Andrew.
And the Droids Canada as well.
Which one?
The Droids Canada.
Okay, Droids Canada. Okay, I know there's other ones I'm missing.
Yeah. Who Wars?
Yes.
Geek Watch 1. Troughton is my doctor. Gallifrey Stands with our good friend Dr. Squee. Well, they're all great friends, but yeah, that's who's putting it out. Yeah. If I've forgotten anyone, I do apologize. All the information is on the website, which I can't remember. So
we got to pass the word along to our fellow Whovians, though, because I think out of all of those you just mentioned, only Who Wars is on Stitcher, and that's how I mainly listen to my podcast, because it's an Android app.
Oh, okay.
So we got to pass the word along. So if you're listening, I hope you are. Get your shows on Stitcher. It's really easy, and it's just a great way to supplement your audience and reach more people, because people can search Doctor Who. And then your show, your podcast could be one of the top ones to come out. Or they can search AM Audio Media or Dark Journey, and they came out. And that's exactly what I did this morning to double check. And only Who Wars showed up in our podcast.
Okay.
And get those descriptions going. Put some information there, some links, because the search engines do pick that up.
Yeah.
Big deal.
Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, that would be like I say, Mike's the tech guy. I kind of forget things. I'm too busy with the writing and the rewrites and the everything else that goes on. But if I've forgotten anyone, I do apologize. But those are the main guys. Yeah.
Yeah, your list was more thorough than mine. But hey, if you want more information, the full list, you can find it over at amaudiomedia.com. There you go.
Right. That would be fantastic. And just as a special thank you this week, just let me say a heartfelt thank you to Joshua Benjamin Hemming, our sound engineer for 1, 2, and 6, and musical genius, and our old friend, our old war doctor himself, Kevin Gray, who's helped us tremendously with a surprise that we have for Dark Journey fans, which they should know about in a week, maybe 2 weeks. But Kevin's been absolutely fantastic in providing the technical know-how, to do that, and turning ideas around very quickly by email. And he also did episodes 3 and 4 for us as well. So he gave us a bridge to get to 5, 6, and 7. Without Kevin, there wouldn't be those episodes because of his stellar work, following on from Josh's stellar work, Levi Considine, David Goody. Yeah, it's fantastic. So I just wanted to especially thank them because they have done some exceptionally brilliant work for us this week.
And on your SoundCloud, you have little remixes, little mashups of some of their music work and some of the other stuff they do. So I think it's really cool. So make sure you follow AM Audio Media on SoundCloud.com or the SoundCloud app, which is really cool. I like the SoundCloud app; it's really well done.
Yeah, it is good. There's lots of stuff on there. There's we have soundtracks for Josh for his contributions to Dark Journey, for David Goody. His music is on there as well. Kevin Gray is multi-talented gentleman, and he's done a lot for us. I don't know whether you ever heard it or not, but he's quite an impressionist, and he did the Arnold Schwarzenegger Dark Journey promotional thing that went out before season 2. I don't know whether did you ever hear that, Yogi?
No, you told me about it. I tried to look for it. I gotta check SoundCloud again. I couldn't find it. I may have missed it somehow.
He's like the master of 1,000 voices, and he started doing all these impressions on the phone with me. I couldn't believe it. I was rolling. And
the best I could do is Schmeagle. You want to hear my Schmeagle real quick?
Go on. Yeah.
My precious Audio Media.
That's good. Slightly alarming from a medical point of view, but that was good. You want me to do? Should I do Roger Moore?
Do the Roger Moore again, please.
Okay, gotcha. I'll have a martini, shaken, not stirred.
I love it.
I'll have a martini, shaken, not stirred. That's good. With special thanks to Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon from the brilliant show The Trip, which I recommend anyone and everyone should go and see. Sorry, and rent. It's on YouTube. If you love comedy and if you love movie references, check out The Trip by Steve Coogan and Rob Brydon. It's fantastic.
Hey, before I forget, it's a completely different thought, but I would love for whenever you listen to any of our podcasts on Geeky Antics, I would love for you guys to maybe let me know some timestamps.
Okay.
So I can make like a gag reel or highlight reel.
Okay.
And say that you guys, these are like the AM Audio Media picks. It'll be a little cross promotion thing. Or if you could just throw a little reel together, that'd be cool too. Just a thought. I'm just thinking about cool ways we could work together. And I like the audio work you guys do, so I'd be honored if you did like a little, little highlight reel, a sizzle reel as they call it.
Yeah. That's Rob Irwin did one, which I was amazed to hear because it really, when you edit down all of my lunacy, it sounds complete gibberish. I think it starts off with me saying, at this moment in time, I'm wearing a pink Mohican. In season 3 of Dark Journey, we're having Jessica Rabbit, but Mike's concerned about the carrots. And it's like having an interview with Pac-Man. And Rob put this together, which I thought was very funny because it just sounds, it sounds like the ramblings of a madman.
Oh man, I gotta hear that.
It's very funny. Rob did some great stuff. So yeah, like I said, with Kevin doing the humorous side of things, he recently gave us a bunch of trailers and sort of things he'd done. He's a very creative guy, and he came up with a lot of stuff. So these will be unveiled. But Kevin Gray is, he's worth a shout out to him as well as everyone else this week. Yeah, fantastic. It's been a hell of a week, but we couldn't have done it without those guys.
Yeah, if you got any of those little promo kind of sound clips, let me know. 'Cause we need to do more with our SoundCloud.
Well, we can do stuff. Yeah, we can do. It won't be the first time that Mike and I have recorded in a van on a darkened street, so which we've done before. Hey, Charmy, we need to do some promos for Yogi. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I love that.
Doing them? And he gets the microphone out, and I'm like, dude, do you not think this looks a bit strange? Like we're on a shadowy street, right? Because we've just come out of some audition or something, or some stage play or whatever. And he's like, no, it'll be okay. And I'm always struck by how funny this is. I mean, we have actually recorded stuff in washrooms before, which we affectionately refer to as Studio P. So we have done stuff in washrooms, and the microphone wire, the cable, was stretched out the door so Mike could listen with headphones on. So I've got no room to move, and he's like, sound like you're hanging off the TARDIS, and I'm like, Mike, I'm in a toilet, and I've got no room to move. And he's like, put the microphone closer to your mouth, and I'm like, dude, like this is like unbelievable. So a lot of funny stuff has happened, yeah, which we will be elaborating on later this year.
Oh man, I can't wait. I see lots of good things in our future. But we have someone in the chat, a young man, who's a very, very well behaved and respectful young man, which is really neat to me because sometimes I look at the youth today and I'm getting the old man syndrome. I'm becoming a curmudgeon.
I know,
yeah. I'm like, kids these days, but it's
go out to the fresh air. Don't hang around these malls all day. What's wrong with you, young'uns? I know what you mean. It's a sign of us getting older, is what it is. To be fair. It
is. That's how I know I'm finally getting there. But cause now I become my parents, so.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Batman. Yeah.
So, this young man, CCW Ninja 5, he says that he's really excited. He's like, Doctor Who, my whole family loves it. And he said the 11th Doctor is the best.
Yes. Matt Smith.
Matt Smith, yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's like the second Doctor. For all you youngsters out there, he is like the second Doctor. But I don't mean that. I'm not slighting him, but he took the inspiration from Patrick Troughton, who was the second version of Doctor Who. But in saying that, Matt Smith brought his own unique flavor to it, and I know that he's great. He's fantastic, and his regeneration scene in the time of the Doctor is something that I can never really ever get by without shedding a tear or three.
Oh gosh, yes, he did a really good job with that. All right, I just got chills. No joke. I just got chills and little goosebumps because I know exactly what you mean. And the whole thing of when he started getting old, like that's the first time I could really think of looking at the Doctor, and in spite of his ability to regenerate, thinking, my gosh, he's a Time Lord, but he's actually mortal. He's vulnerable, and it made such an impression on me.
Well, exactly. RTD, the showrunner before Stephen Moffat, for anyone who needs an explanation. But, the years are going by and, people often kind of forget. RTD, his Doctor was all about saving the world and the universe, and the planets have all disappeared, and the TARDIS is pulling an entire planet back into orbit. Whereas Moffat took a more intimate view with his Doctor. It wasn't as bombastic. It wasn't as... a lot of those personal kind of battles, like especially for the Christmas specials, it was just like, getting a family, their father back who they'd lost in the war, in the Doctor, the wardrobe, whatever it's called. A Christmas Carol. And that's how the 11th Doctor went out. He went out, defending the town of Christmas.
Yep.
And staying there. So it's a different approach in the writing, which I thought was good, because once you've saved the universe, how do you keep on doing it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Is a lot better, if you ask me.
Yeah, they humanized him a lot more, and I think Russell T Davies was better put to use over on Torchwood. I know a lot of people don't like Torchwood, but I loved it, and I didn't like the way it ended up ultimately, but. For the most part, I enjoyed that show. It's like the darker side of the Doctor Who universe.
I thought Miracle Day was a bit weird. I could see where
Yeah.
that was wrong. To me, that could have happily been like a Children of Earth and have 5 episodes and be good. But you can tell it's obviously you've got an American network involved, and there might be a need there to make it longer, and therefore you have to spin out things like Captain Jack's love story in Italy back in the day. You know what I mean? You can see how these things can happen, right?
Yeah.
But they're not really necessary to the actual narrative. But that's like we said earlier on. You have to sort of be flexible with these things to get what you want, right?
Right. It felt like at times there was a lot of sensationalization and pandering, perhaps.
Yeah.
But when you took away some of that, all that, that wasn't that much fluff. But when you took away that fluff, the meat of it was really good. It was really solid.
It was good. Yeah, absolutely. It was good.
So episode 6, Lost Souls.
Yes.
I got official synopsis, I guess.
Okay, from our press department, yes.
I'm gonna try to do it in my best reading voice.
Okay, go on.
As the darkness gives way to light, the Doctor discovers that his journey is over, but a new one is about to begin. As old friends walk the streets of Baker Street, that's a little redundant, isn't it? A battle-scarred Holmes, intelligence and bravery still intact, but worldview forever changed, wrestles with the darkest question of all. Doctor, in the chamber, were you possessed by that dark beast? Written by Andrew Chalmers, sound design and music by Joshua Hemming, directed by M.A. Tamburo. Chicken and broccoli.
Does it say Streets of Baker Street?
It does.
Oh, for God's sake! Hang on a second. Ian, get in here. Ian, drop the sandwich and get in here. Are you listening to this? You should be, buddy. Get your stuff and get out. Get out. Okay, go. It's okay. I'm really sorry, but that's kind of what happened there. So,
well, hey, there's a question here in the chat.
Yeah.
Does your doctor wear a fez?
No.
Would you like to wear a fez? By the way, Andrew Chalmers does the voice of the doctor, I believe. Is that right?
Well, yes, yes, I do the voice of the Doctor. Yes, that makes it sound like I'm impersonating the Dark Journey Doctor. But yes,
are you? Do you wear fezzes ever? Do you wear any kind of hats? Are you a hat guy?
Yeah, I have a collection of ridiculous hats.
Really?
I have at least 3 cowboy hats. I have a.
Are they 10-gallon or 5-gallon?
No, they're just 5, man. They're just 5.
Okay.
I have a Scottish Tammy, one of those ones with like the clan badge on the front and the ribbon down the back. I have a lot of toques, which is like a woolly Canadian hat. I would love to have a Viking, a Norseman's helmet.
Oh man, that'd be epic.
That would be good. And usually when I start to write something, I actually don one of these hats and I will send a picture through to Mike and say, I've started writing, and there'll be a picture of me wearing some kind of ridiculous headwear. Yeah.
So quite literally, you put on the thinking cap.
I do. Thinking that's pushing. It's a cap. I'm not doing much thinking sometimes, but I do like hats. But with me holding in a lot of heat, it's maybe not the best thing to do because I get hot very quickly. You see, so
yeah.
It's a lot of conflict for me in a level. But now that I fired Ian, I feel